Dengan lafaz Bismillahirrahmanirrahim. Hello and Assalamualaikum everyone. We are from Group 4. But first, let me introduce you with our group members. This is Nur Hatika binti Daud. Next is Nur Hamizah Liana binti Muhammad. Next, this is Nur Fatim binti Abdul Aziz. Next is Jennifer Reni Gibson. And last, Nur Nadirah binti Hamzah. Okay, let's continue with our presentation.
Hello everyone, my name is Nur Hatika. I will present about the workplace learning. Working is interconnected with learning and consequently. Workplace learning. What is workplace learning? Workplace learning is the way in which skills are upgraded and knowledge is accurate at the place of work. In short, workplace is learning. Workplace learning mostly occurs through work-related interactions and is generally described as a contributing to the learning of both the individual employer and the organization as a whole. Workplace learning is a structured work experience program that provides an opportunities for students to get some first-hand and on-the-job experience or training. Also, workplace learning helps young people make informed decisions when planning their transition through school and from school to fulfilling working life. Okay, let's move to the next slide. 5 stages of workplace learning. Start with stage 1, which is classroom training. They involve the trainer. Stage 2, e-learning. They involve the online content-rich courses, learning management system (LMS). Stage 3, blended learning. They involve the classroom training and e-learning, learning management systems. Stage 4, social learning. They involve the social media in training and e-learning social learning management system (LMS). Okay, we move to the stage 5, which is collaborative working learning. They involve the facilitators, peers learning, UGC (User Generated Center), and collaborations performance. Okay, let's see the approach they're using. Stage 1 until 4, they're using the traditional approach to training, manage and organize by learning and development (L&D). For stage 5, workings equal to learning, supporting self-organized learning. We move to the autonomy, the level that they have on the autonomy. Okay, we can see at the stage 5, mostly they have full autonomy compared to the stage 1, the level of autonomy. Okay, we look at the top-down control. We can see most dominant of top-down control. As you can see, here are the difference between formal learning and informal learning. Formal learning is type of learning program happens in training-based organization, workplace, mobile device, classroom, online over the internet through e-learning portal. Formal learning refer of type of program in which the goal and the objective are defined by the training department, instructional designer, or instructors. Example of formal learning include the classroom instructions, web-based training, remote labs, workshop, seminar, webinar, and other methods. Okay, we move to the informal learnings. Informal learnings is a self-directed learning that is driven by the learner passions and motivations. Informal learning is based on practical, spontaneous, and long-life learning activities. Informal learning is a place occur through on-the-job interactions, such as discussions with experienced and knowledgeable colleagues regarding the work-related issues and the ideas. Peer monitoring is something referred to the informal mentoring. Okay. Informal learnings comes in many forms, including viewing video, self-study regarding the article, reading the article, participating in forum and chat room, coaching session, and also games. Okay, we move to the next slide, which is Modern Workplace Learning 2020. The term of modern workplace is frequently used once an organization introduces a new product or software. The modern workplace is more than just modern tool for the staff. The true modernization is having fully collaborative workplace that integrated with technology in order to boost productivities. Okay, refer to the table. We have seen that people learn not just through formals, but many more informal ways. There's other considerations too, in particular whether people learn intentionally or accidentally. And also to have what extent they are aware of what they have learned or not. Modern workplace learning means recognizing people learns in different ways. The 4 Ds of learning, which is included didactics, discovery, discourse, and doings. Modern workplace learning is more than modern training. Modern workplace learning supporting individuals to learn in different ways and for many different reasons. In other words, it's not just about designing, delivering, and managing stuff for people to learn from, but to help them to do more for themselves. And it's particular to help them become more aware of what they have learned in informal situation at work. Okay, next, modern workplace learning means continuous learnings. An important aspect of modern workplace learning is building and supporting continuous learning in the organizations, but this doesn't mean individuals continually taking courses, and it doesn't mean continually training people. So, a continuous learning environment is not a platform, but a workplace where everyone is consistently acquiring new knowledge and skill in many different ways, both planned and unplanned, formal and informal, at work and outside of work. Okay, last point about the modern workplace learning. Modern workplace learning is an integral part of working. Learning is not a separate activity from work, but once that happens in the workflow and as a result of work. Effective training and development start with a solid learning strategies. The goal of any workplace learning is to improve employees' development skill to improve efficiency and performance. With a focus on real-time learning, employer can provide relevant training as it related to products, process, or procedure. Here are the reasons why workplace learning is important. Workplace learning can improve employer performance by giving them the means to grow with the company and contribute to a culture built around performance. Employees are more likely to success when given the opportunities to do so. Here are the impacts that we can see from the workplace learnings. It can be the reason for a company's success or the beginning of its downfall. It also can enhance employer knowledge and skill needed to perform their job, which in turn increase productivities. It also provides employers with this essential skill for the present and future employment. Okay, here are the 5 ways to motivate employer and promote learning in the workplace. First, align interests. Find skill training that is valuable to both the business and the employer as an individual. Second, coaching and mentoring. Third, model behavior. Next, recognize success. And the last, 5, allow collaborations. There are a few ways to motivate employers and promote learning in the workplace. Before we move to the next presenter, let's watch the video that related to the situation in workplace learning.
This is Stefan. He works in developmental services and he loves his job. But lately at work, Stefan's been wearing too many hats. This is Adele. You can just call her Miss ED. She's Stefan's boss. Miss ED tells Stefan that she has huge dreams for her agency. She wants the people who receive supports to live rich, meaningful lives of contribution and belonging. To add to everything, Miss ED crowns Stefan the king of workplace learning. Stefan's simple task is to equip all employees with the learning they need to be awesome and to do this on budget. Stefan has no idea how to do this, so he goes to a conference to escape from work. This is Lorena. She also works in developmental services, but she's not carrying the stress that Stefan is. During a break at the conference, Stefan meets Lorena and explains how overwhelmed he is and complains about his new workplace learning assignment on top of all the other hats he's wearing. This is all too familiar for Lorena. She shows Stefan her new workplace learning manual and the topic outlines. Lorena highlights that each outline includes references to core competencies. Stefan is skeptical. It sounds like even more work. Lorena thought the same thing when she first heard about it. She explains 3 ways she has used the workplace learning manual and saved time in the process. First, she used the topic outline to review and improve existing courses offered by her agency. Next, the guide helped her develop new courses. Some are classroom-based, some online, and some as part of on-the-job orientation. The guide also helped her to evaluate courses offered by other organizations. When reviewing content, she always asks, 1. Are learning outcomes used? 2. Is learning interactive? 3. Are core competencies embedded? 4. Are evaluation methods utilized? 5. Are agency policies and procedures incorporated? Stefan runs out of the conference straight back to work and downloads the Workplace Learning and Development Guide. He then maps out a plan of action as King of Workplace Learning. Fast forward 6 months, and Stefan has edited 3 courses offered by the agency to align with topic outlines. Stefan has invited Lorena to deliver a few courses on different topics to employees of his organization. Stefan has delegated the development of 2 new courses to team members using the topic outlines. And Stefan's under budget. Miss ED is impressed. Today, Stefan tells everyone in his field about the new Workplace Learning Manual. It saves time, no need to research topics, and improves quality by utilizing content and resources from the manual. You can also collaborate between agencies knowing that the outlines ensure consistency. And the bottom line, it's all about promoting excellence in the provision of quality supports.
Assalamualaikum and hi to everyone. My name is Nurhamizah Nana binti Muhammad and I am the second presenter of this group. Today, I would like to present about the strategic learning and cognition. I hope you will enjoy it. Let's start. Strategic learning and cognition. Strategic learning is another approach that reserving attention in the field of adult and workplace. In this approach, knowledge and skill are taught in context that reflect how the knowledge will be used in the real life. In strategic learning, it is a authentic social context in which learning occurs that offers the benefit of increased knowledge and offers knowledge in new ways and new situations. So, we move to strategic learning theory. Presented by Jane Lin and Winger in 1991. Both of them state the strategic learning is learning that takes place in the same context in which it is applied. Workplace is considered as sustainable community of practice operating as context wherein behavior, values, relationship, and belief. So, we move to the element of strategic learning. First, context, second, community, and third, participation, and the last one is context. Now, I will explain about context. It helps learners to reflect and use high-order thinking where the results are used in solving problems faced in daily life, and all method is about application-based. Next point is community. It's helped the learner to create, interpret, reflect, and form meanings. It was provide opportunities to share experience among learners and also to interact. So we move to participation. It is where interchange of ideas, problem solving, and engaging of the learners take place. It's including reflecting, interpreting, and negotiating among participants in community. Last one is content. It provides a framework from the usage of the product at the right time and place and station in social, physical, and material environment. Next, we move to the evaluation of situated learning. First, it's focused on the process rather than products. Second, using technology. And the number 3, non-linear measure. This is the benefits of situated learning. First, more real-world application. Second, deeper order thinking. And the last one, more likely to engage in invention. This cognitive apprenticeship is the one of example of situated learning in which learners participate in a community of practice that is developed through activity and social interaction in ways that is craft apprenticeship. We move to cognitive apprenticeship stage. First, teacher considers aspects like strategies involved in a task. Second, teacher designs scaffolds that encourage students to apply the strategies. Third, the teacher initially models the requisite strategies, allows students to try them independently, and coaches students as needed. Collins, Brown, and Newman, in their theory, focuses on learning through guided experience on cognitive and metacognitive skills and processes, instead of physically concrete or trait that is focus of traditional apprenticeship. Collins, Brown, and Newman was provided 6 teaching methods of cognitive apprenticeship, which is modeling, coaching, scaffolding, reflection, aspiration, and articulation. First, modeling. Experts, usually teachers and mentors, demonstrate a task explicitly. New students and novices build a conceptual model of the task at hand. Second, coaching. During coaching, the expert gives feedback and hints to the novice. Third, scaffolding. The process of supporting students in their learning. Support structures are put into place. The expert may have to help with aspects of the task that the student cannot do yet. Fourth, reflection. Reflection allows students to compare their own problem-solving processes with those of an expert, another student, and ultimately, an internal cognitive model of expertise. Fifth, exploration. Giving students room to problem solving on their own and teaching students exploration strategies. The former requires the teacher to slowly withdraw the use of supports and scaffolds not only in problem solving methods, but problem setting methods as well. 6. Articulation. Spreading component knowledge and skills to learn them more effectively. More common, verbalizing or demonstrating knowledge and thinking processes in order to expose and clarify them. Lastly, we move to the implication of situated learning. First, the designer moved from the organization of content and sequence to the creation of environment that induce, facilitate, and understanding. Second, structured learning focuses on the individual's cognitive progress and transfer of knowledge, which is testing the cognitive progress.
Assalamualaikum and hello everyone. My name is Nur Fatim bint Abdul Aziz. I'm here today is to present the next topic, which is being a reflective practitioner. So, without wasting time, let's get started. First of all, let me tell you about the definition of reflective practitioner. A person who reflects throughout his or her practice is not just looking back on past action and events, but it taking a conscious look at emotion, experience, action, and responses, and using that information to add his or her existing knowledge base and reach a higher level of understanding. It also can be an important tool to practice-based professional learning setting where people learn from their own professional experience rather than from formal learning or knowledge transfer. For example, someone who at regular interval look back at the work they do, the work process, and consider how they can improve, they also reflect on the work they have done. That's all for the definition reflective practitioner. In this slide, I will tell you about why is it good to be a reflective practitioner. Practice has huge benefits in increasing self-awareness, which is a key component of emotional intelligence, and in developing a better understanding of others. Practice can also help you to develop creative thinking skill and encourage active engagement in work processes. In this slide, I will tell you about the benefit to reflective practice include increased learning from an experience or situation, promotion of deep learning, identification of personal and professional strengths and areas for improvement, identification of education needs, acquisition of new knowledge and skill, encouragement of self-motivation and self-direct learning. Okay guys, I'm all about finishing my presentation. Okay, for this slide I will tell you about 6 steps becoming a reflective practitioner. Point number 1. Understanding reason for teaching. Identifying those who influence you to become a teacher is a fundamental exercise in continued excellence. Some found elementary school teachers who discovered their talents and promise, discovered their confidence through recognition of their potential in a specific subject. Point number 2. Cultivate ethical behavior in your student and yourself. A teacher can achieve harmony in classroom, but the real focus of student management lies in instilling ethical behavior, authentic responses to classroom interaction, as well as logical consequence for transgression can be improved through collegial dialogue. Pull both patience and perseverance. Stamina and endurance are needed for the long haul of teaching. finding way to remain healthy and able-minded through the stressful day, connecting with others who have discovered methods of physical and mental renewal. Teachers have a better chance of staying enthused about teaching despite the many inevitable setbacks during the school year. Point number 4. Design curriculum that works. Good teaching requires excellent design and redesign. Without a forum for the continuous retailing of other curriculum, teachers are often left to work from a textbook or on-the-fly lesson plan. Point number 5. Perfect instructional practice and assessment skill. The ongoing development of instructional methods and feedback skills are critical to excellence in teaching. Only through the careful examination of activities and assessment can a teacher guide all students to succeed. The temporary success of fun activities can be a hindrance to the development of master teachers. The last point, connect positively to the whole school culture. The teacher has the capacity to improve the whole school culture through excellence in teaching, has as its foundation the generous impulse to assist students and colleagues. The teacher is able to fundamentally influence others without generating resentment. I have end of my presentation, and that's all from me. For the next point, I will pass to my friend Jennifer to elaborate more about reflective practitioner. Bye. Of education needs acquisition of new knowledge and skill, encouragement of self-motivation and self-direct learning. Okay guys, I'm all about finishing my presentation. Okay, for this slide I will tell you about 6 steps becoming a reflective practitioner. Point number 1. Understanding reason for teaching. Identifying those who influence you to become a teacher is a fundamental exercise in continued excellence. Some found elementary school teachers who discovered their talents and promise, discovered their confidence through recognition of their potential in a specific subject. Point number 2. Cultivate ethical behavior in your student and yourself. A teacher can achieve harmony in classroom, but the real focus of student management lies in instilling ethical behavior, authentic responses to classroom interaction, as well as logical consequence for transgression can be improved through collegial dialogue. Pull both patience and perseverance. Stamina and endurance are needed for the long haul of teaching. Finding way to remain healthy and able-minded through the stressful day. Connecting with others who have discovered methods of physical and mental renewal. Teachers have a better chance of staying enthused about teaching despite the many inevitable setbacks during the school year. Point number 4. Design curriculum that works. Good teaching requires excellent design and redesign. Without a forum for the continuous retailing of other curriculum, teachers are often left to work from a textbook or on-the-fly lesson plan. Point number 5. Perfect instructional practice and assessment skill. The ongoing development of instructional methods and feedback skills are critical to excellence in teaching. Only through the careful examination of activities and assessment can a teacher guide all students to succeed. The temporary success of fun activities can be a hindrance to the development of master teachers. The last point, connect positively to the whole school culture. The teacher has the capacity to improve the whole school culture through excellence in teaching, has as its foundation the generous impulse to assist students and colleagues. The teacher is able to fundamentally influence others without generating resentment. I have end of my presentation, and that's all from me. For the next point, I will pass to my friend Jennifer to elaborate more about reflective practitioner. Bye.
In this part, I would like to talk about the characteristics of a reflective practitioner of counseling, and what is reflective thinking. First of all is about the characteristics of a reflective practitioner. The first characteristic are reflection support, knowledge, practitioner qualities, building relationships, working together in partnership, and practitioner skills. This is some of the elaboration from the reflection support. One of them is continually improve the way of how they work. Teacher encouraging reflection with openly and honestly of what happens between the students. Teacher helps to build resilience and also deepen the professional commitment between the teacher and the student itself. Next is knowledge. Knowledge involves a critical inquiry into one's beliefs, thoughts, and actions. It also requires time and practice to develop and practice. Requires the ability and indication to translate concepts into the action. The fourth characteristic of a reflective practitioner is practitioner qualities. The point is a professionals who proactively and willingly engage in the practice between themselves. Number 2 is a systematic and structured approach that aims to draw out learning outcomes. And number 3 is by involving the value and respect of each individual. Next is by building a relationships. Discussion, support, and knowledge sharing is important in building relationships and caring for one individual with another, and service delivery improves when teams and groups are formed. And also, outputs from team reflective actions may include suggestions or plans to improve care or the service provided. Working together in partnership. The voice of both are listened and heeded. The former involves joint decision-making, requires time, careful negotiation, trust and effective communication, and also the negotiation and contracting are key components of collaborative partnerships. All of these are very important to have a partnership in whatever we do. Next one is the practitioner skill. There are 5 stages of a practitioner skill, and one of them is self-awareness, followed with description, a critical analysis, synthesis, and the last one is the evaluation. Okay, we go to the next small topic. It's about the question of what is reflective practitioner of counseling. Okay, a reflective practitioner of counseling is the approach to the job and being able, someone being able to see where improvement can be made. Works through an understanding of client behaviors, counselors' own behavior, and how they can apply their reflections to improve their skills in their daily life. Reflective thinking. Okay, reflective thinking, it involves the consideration of the larger context, the meaning, and the implications of an experience or action of someone. Why and what you did or plan to do matters. And also by doing the right thing. Exploring emotions, feelings, reactions, and knowledge. These two, description and also critical analysis, is what we get from the practitioner skill that have 5 of them, which is firstly self-awareness, description, critical analysis, synthesis, and evaluation. And now I want to talk about the 2 of them, which is description and also critical analysis. About the description is the ability to recognize and recollect important events, and also was verbalized in group discussion, written in a critical guideline journal, article, or book. A critical analysis. Critical analysis is the stage in which someone or an individual examining components of a situation. For the example, it entails examining existing knowledge, challenging assumptions, imagining and exploring alternatives. Next is by examining how relevant knowledge is to an individual situation. For the example is support the definition or the development of an evidence based on teacher. Concentrate on how the students feedback through the learning process. This is the challenges of teacher reflection. The first one is about the perspective, that teacher needs to gain the perspective of others. Means that teacher needs to communicate with the students. Focus. Don't always focus on the right things. A person normally cannot be always focused on the one things, and also the memory, recall a lesson sometime afterwards is limited. We as a usual person have a limited memory about something, so that is why we need to practice, and then we can memorize it. Isolation, typically a private personal experience. The teacher need a personal experience to control the student itself, and recognizing progress. Setting measurable benchmark for progress is difficult, and also about the understanding of self, difficult not to cloud reflections on our performance. From all the challenges that teacher reflect, there is always have a way to overcome those challenges. Most of professionals such as athletes, politicians, surgeons use video to continually refine their skills. By using a video is to emulate great performance and to be inspired by new idea and to identifying areas of improvement in their work. Video also allows teachers to reflect more effectively and accurately on their performance and to see the lesson as a whole from the students' perspectives rather than relying on memory. Next is allowing them to get feedback from others, from the students of course, and to objectively measure progress, helping them to gain greater understanding of their own abilities and traits. And lastly, it brings a new level of depth and awareness to teacher reflection.
Hi, hello and Assalamualaikum everyone. Before I continue my presentation, let me introduce myself. My name is Nuradira binti Hamzah. I will present about continuous improvement in an organization, Kaizen. Continual improvement process is an ongoing effort to improve product, service, and process. These efforts can see incremental improvement over time or breakthrough improvement all at once. What is continuous improvement in workplace? A continuous improvement strategy is any policy or process within a workplace that helps keep the focus on improving the way things are done on a regular basis. Continual process improvement model. Many strategies and methodologies can be used when focusing on continuous improvement. Finding the right one for a given industry is important as it will help maximize the results. Next, this is a cycle process of plan, do, check, and act that is always being worked on and evaluated. First, plan. In the planning phase, teams will measure current standards, come up with ideas for improvements, identify how those improvements should be implemented, set the objective, and make the plan of. Second, do. Implement the plan that was created in the first step. This includes not only changing process, but also providing any necessary training, increases awareness, and adding in any controls to avoid potential problems. Last, H. the data from the change is analyzed by the management teams to determine whether the change will become new, permanent, or if further adjustments are needed. It's time to begin looking for the new ways to make further improvements. Third, check. Taking new measurements to compare with those taken prior to the change is an important step here. Analyze those results and take any corrective or preventative actions to ensure the desired results are being achieved. The meaning of Kaizen is some successful implementations use the approach known as Kaizen. The translation of Kai, change, Z means good, is improvements. Next, the key features of Kaizen includes improvements are based on many small changes. Small improvements are less likely to require major capital investment than major process change. Next, the idea comes from the talents of the existing workforce. Why is continuous improvement is important? Number 1. More engaged employees. When an employee makes a suggestion for improvement, the idea can be carefully tested. This will change the employee's roles and responsibilities from being a passive actor to being an active participant. Number 2. Lower employee turnover. A continuous improvement culture has been shown to boost employee engagement and reduce turnover rates. Employees who actively participate in the betterment of the company gain a sense of pride and accomplishment. Next, more competitive products and services. Companies that actively look for ways to enhance their business will invariably increase the value of their products and services. This will lead to more sophisticated and overall more economically competitive offering. Number 4. Customer service starts with understanding what customer finds value and working to deliver that value. Lean and continuous improvement provides a framework for identifying customer values and for minimizing waste in the value delivery process. Number 5. Having a proactive learning culture. The only way to improve upon existing process is to try something new that might be scary at first and be beyond the current competencies of the organization. This will give our organization a framework for reaching the next level of excellence. Next, I will go to the principles of continuous improvement. Principle number 1. Stop fixing and start improving. The first of the principles of continuous improvement is that you must focus on process and their methodologies of innovation and creativity. Instead, stop focusing on methodologies and instead focus on improving. Number 2. The best practice are the ones you already have. Success goes to those change leaders who first look to the internal best practice and distinctive capabilities and then marry them with outside technology, capital asset, and best practice. Next, changing behavior is more important than changing process. Understanding what gives us access to cause a change in people's behavior can help us to create whole new roles of productivity. Lastly, if you aren't failing, you aren't trying. The value in learning from success and failure. Last but not least, how can you contribute to continuous improvement in your workplace? The first methods for creating an environment of continuous improvement is choose small manageable improvements. Second, always ask for feedback. Be open and receptive to feedback. Conduct self-assessment and work as a team. Lastly, the benefits of adopting a continuous improvement approach. With practice and time, companies learn internally how to work in an organized, efficient manner, identify opportunities, and make change accordingly. They also learn how to pinpoint areas where value is added, where value is absent, and how to dispose of invaluable waste. A manufacturer that adopts the continuous improvement approach will see immeasurable benefits, including increased productivity, improved quality, lowered costs, decreased delivery times, improved employee satisfaction, and reduced employee rate. That's all from us. Thank you for watching this video.